One of the most common questions that we get is, how do I attach flat surfaces to my EMT conduit builds? And we always recommend the easiest and most common method that we see, and that's just utilizing some of these off-the-shelf electrical straps. They're really inexpensive and they secure surfaces to your builds and work really well. And we see it in desks, shelves, and all kinds of stuff. And something that you might run into whenever you're doing this solution is the way these kind of work is they kind of hook around the EMT conduit, and then usually there's a little bit of a gap. This material is pretty thick, so it's not as noticeable, but usually there's a pretty significant gap that causes the strap to kind of buckle downward, and that's what secures the conduit in place. And it can be really annoying if you're doing this if you look for screws and get some that don't really fit in the hole. And the problem with this is if you have it and, you know, if you try to get a bigger head, usually it doesn't fit and it will stick out the other side of your material. And obviously you don't want to do that in your desk or something like that. And so we've tried a bunch of different screws over the years, and I just wanted to share with you guys the go-to recommendation that I always recommend that you use, and that's to look for these number 10 by 1/2 inch. As you can see, they're not too long, so they work really well, but they also have this big head here that you can see that will fit inside of the hole and not go through, and works really well to secure these in place here. And I'll just go ahead and secure one and just show you. And we always recommend this because you don't really have to use a drill. You can just use a Phillips head screwdriver, and you can drive these in to the flat surface that you're securing, and then you can get a really good attachment for your 3/4 inch empty conduit or whatever size you're using in your frames. And it works really well to kind of hold your frames in place and secure your desktops, whatever it might be. And that's a good way to do it with the number 10. And something else that we saw from the community is a hack for doing this, which is pretty cool. And I wanted to highlight it just in case you've already got some stuff on hand and you want to avoid this problem of it going through. If you can find a washer that fits, I just found this in my junk drawer of hardware, and it just adds a little bit more of a diameter to that. Then you can use the screw and actually secure your one-hole strap and take advantage of some screws and some hardware you might have on hand. And that works really well also to secure it. But if you're at the store, just pick up some of these number 10 by 1/2 inch, and that's what I usually use in my builds. Wanted to share it with you guys. So hopefully you found this useful and can use it in your next build. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those down below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.